in my opinion, the bull run that's coming up now, I was under the opinion that I thought a lot of that action would have been more of this year. Is that something you would expect it to happen, or did you always think it was going to be more 2025?
No, I always thought it was 2025. Because you got to think, 2024 was like 2020. There wasn't much that happened 2020 until the end of the year, Q4, which is where we're at right now. We've only just started Q4, and we're only just starting to creep towards all-time high. Q1 of 25, this is where it starts to get crazy. And then Q2 is where we start to basically see, what potentially could be the first local peak for Bitcoin, because we could have a double bubble situation, we could have a 2013 situation, depending on how far this meme coin cycle goes and how much liquidity gets pushed into this market, and also macro environment. So if we have continued Fed rate cuts, if we see more liquidity, more money printing, we could have a huge cycle ahead. So for me, I know that Q1 is going to be really fun. Q2 is going to be really fun. And then Q3 is where I need to readjust and see, okay, are we coming out completely, or are we going to see, what we saw kind of last cycle, which is that double bubble situation.
Do you fully exit the market at that point, or do you leave some in certain projects or move it into Bitcoin?
It's a good question. We are going to exit heavily because, again, this is one of the mistakes that people make is they try and overtrade, they try and put it into other things, not realizing that this actually could be the end of the cycle. So we will take heavy profits into stable coins for sure. We might leave some Bitcoin, because it's always good to have Bitcoin in there long term. But in general, we're going to be all out by the end of the cycle.
I don't know what you think, but in my opinion, this is the last chance of crypto to create generational wealth, because I don't think the next bull run will be the same, because I think it'll be much more heavily regulated. And I think there's only a certain amount of growth that can happen so quickly with anything. What's your feedback for anyone listening to this on that type of narrative?
Well, I agree with you. I do think that this cycle is the last cycle for serious growth. Like we're talking, 10, 20, 100x altcoin plays. I do think that this is the last time that we're going to see that, because regulation is going to come in quite heavily, and that also means that the volatility is going to decrease, and also adoption in general. Any new market is going to have much higher volatility than a market that's 20, 30, 40 years old. So I do think over time the rate of return is going to be less. So getting in now is going to be the best opportunity for you to make serious wealth. But even next cycle, the cycle after that, you're still going to make good returns. It's just going to be a lot more regulated, and it's going to be harder to find those gems, I think.
Do you think crypto will ever be in a position where it will start to replace a lot of fiat currencies in terms of transactions? Because you see it actually a lot here in Dubai already, where you can buy real estate, for example, in USDT, one transfer bank, and don't ask any questions.
Yeah, 100%. So this is something that people don't realize. This is how I went viral on TikTok, because the first video that I ever did was on central bank digital currencies. This was 2 years ago. So what people don't realize is there's over 100 countries that are developing their own central bank digital currency, and that's built on blockchain. That's cryptocurrency. So in the next 2 years, I'm pretty sure most of Europe, Asia, the UK, they're in their pilot phase right now. So we're going to move from a fiat system to this new monetary system that's going to be using cryptocurrency and blockchain technology.
Now, talking about that, do you think they are trying to push that narrative as well, because they want to try and have more control in terms of the way money is spent? They can track it, it's traceable, and it's like they can almost punish you for doing certain things.
100%, yes. So central bank digital currencies is where it gets scary, because it's programmable. It's also trackable. So every transaction that anyone makes, they can see. And it can get really scary, depending on, how far, governments want to go and central banks want to go. It can become a situation where they can actually block you from spending money, or they can cap you on how much money you spend on, petrol, for example, or, can stop you from traveling abroad, all of that kind of stuff. That's how scary it could get. They have the capability, not saying that they are going to do that, but the capability is there. But there are positives as well. Like, obviously, with this new system, it means capital efficiency is going to be increased. It means productivity is going to be increased because you're not waiting 3 to 5 days for transactions anymore using the SWIFT system. It means everyone can transact money super easy, instantaneously. More trades can be done, all of that stuff. So there are positives to it, but that's the negative to central bank digital currency. That's why I don't like it. And that's why having cryptocurrency is so important. Having Bitcoin is so important. Having your cryptocurrency on a hardware wallet that you can control and no one else can control, that's really important as well.
And do you think that's from a point of complete financial independence? Like, I've got friends who are like buying gold bars and put them in fucking banks in Switzerland because they're worried about the world collapsing. But my opinion is like, someone just takes control of the vault and then you're fucked. So it's like, at least if you have Bitcoin, you have it on the ledger, you have it with you. Yeah. Like, you have controlled access to that straight away. Exactly.
And there are systems where you can spend cryptocurrency in normal day to day. I've done it in London. Like, me and my friend Harry, we use Uphold, and we had a competition. It was like, can we only spend crypto in London? And the answer was yes, we can. It can be done because we've got like cards that within the transaction that happens, it transfers it from stable coins straight through Visa to fiat.
What card's that?
It's called the Uphold card.
Okay.
Yeah. There's loads of them. There's actually a lot more than people think. They're not aware of it.
And can you link those directly to like wallets then, I presume?
Yeah, so that is more centralized. So if you use like Uphold, for example, you can have like stable coins and then you can put it on the card and then you can just spend it like normal money.
Where do you think the crypto space is going in the next 3 to 5 years? What's your prediction in terms of big changes that are coming? Because it's evolving very, very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely evolving super, super quick. I just think more innovation. I think more institutions are going to come in. I think, more ETF products are going to be created. Solana ETF products are being filed left, right, and center. I just think it's going to be more available to TradFi, and there's going to be a good connect between traditional finance and cryptocurrency and DeFi. I think that is that connection being made, especially with tokenization of real-world assets. BlackRock's really, really keen on tokenizing everything. So we're going to have tokenized bonds, tokenized stocks. There's going to be this merge between TradFi and decentralized finance and cryptocurrency. That's where I see it happening. I don't think it's a competition anymore. I think
like a joint force.
Yeah, I think traditional finance are looking at it and going, okay, this actually can be more efficient for us. We can actually make money from this. Let's not try and compete against them. Let's merge together. That's how I see the crypto markets going in the next 3 to 5 years.
And then long term, that's only going to help the prices and create more security and stability into it, I guess.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the cryptocurrencies, you got to think of like crypto projects like tech stocks. Like, they're really technology companies. So when you're merging with traditional finance in that sense, it actually becomes super, super valuable. And then that cryptocurrency becomes valuable. Do you know what I mean? So that's how I see it going. I think there's actually going to be real value, real utility. Is going to be actual technology companies that are going to be making some serious money, serious revenue, and are actually going to grow and innovate and basically change the entire world in terms of banking infrastructure. That's the way I see it.